My parents warned me that if I chose a career in teaching, I would never enjoy the same privileged lifestyle that they had provided for me. I was fortunate, but my children might not have access to the same opportunities that I did. But I had a passion. I wanted to follow it. I didn't listen to my parents. So it's 2005. My wife, our infant children, and I have just moved across the country to a small town in Colorado where we imagined life would be simple, happy, and affordable. Moving never solved anybody's problems. My parents also warned me about that. In fact, the strain on our already fragile marriage only pushed us further apart. Sadly, we separate and eventually divorce. And even though we remain close friends, everybody else feels like they need to choose a side. Now, I made mistakes, and I could have handled things differently. But what almost nobody knew at the time is that on the inside, my wife was a gay woman. And no matter what I did, that marriage never could have been successful for either of us. Nonetheless, nobody chooses my side. My friends, my siblings, even my parents, they tell me I'm being selfish, I'm making a mistake, and I'm a disgrace. So I'm on my own. I'm a single dad. I'm struggling to put food on the table, and I'm scared. I go to a Head Start program looking for help. I explain that I'm a teacher. I need to be in the classroom all day, and I can't afford to pay for daycare anymore. They tell me that somehow my income is still too high. I don't qualify for Head Start. And that's frustrating because I spend all day helping other people's children. So why can't somebody just help us a little? Instead, they point me to other resources for low-income families, like us. I go to our county health department, where I apply for an assistance program called WIC, Women and Infant Children. Food stamps. Well, I've got infants, and I've got children, but I'm not a woman. I'm a father. And I was raised to believe that a good father should be able to support his family. If that's true, then what does that say about me? I don't have any pride left, and I certainly can't afford to say no. So, food stamps in hand, I head to the grocery store furthest across town. And I go when it's least crowded, because I can't risk being seen by somebody I know, because I'm so embarrassed. Inside the store, I search for the one brand of baby formula that's approved, because there's only one. And there's strict rules about the nutritional value of the food you're allowed to buy. So I check all the labels, check for low sugar, whole grains. There won't be any Lucky Charms for us today. And in the checkout line, I hold everybody up. Well, the manager comes over to count out these weird government coupons. I do this twice a week. And twice a week, I feel so ashamed. I feel like everybody's looking at me, staring at me, judging me, looking down on me for every bad decision and poor choice that I've ever made. I just wish I could become invisible. It's not enough. I'm still struggling to survive. So I investigate our area food pantry. This is a place where anybody can walk in, accept a curated basket of non-perishable food items, say thank you, and then walk out. I go there every week. And every week, I feel more and more defeated. I don't feel like a good dad doing whatever it takes to provide for his family. I feel like a failure. I was raised in a privileged family. I have a degree in mathematics from a prestigious university. I have a master's degree. I don't belong here. I don't belong on welfare, and I don't belong in this food bank. How could this be happening to me? I can't ask my wife for help because we're not married anymore. I can't ask my parents for help. They warned me about teaching. They warned me about moving, and they told me to stay married. I should have listened, but I didn't. I did this to myself, and now I'm a failure. Nobody is coming to rescue me. I'm lost. I'm alone. I don't know how I got here, and I don't know how to get home. Even though I don't have a support system, I do have one friend. She's another teacher at work. Her name is Anne. She's a strong woman. She loves children, and my children love her. We call her Annie. And at a time when I can barely take care of myself, Annie is there to take care of all of us. Now, being a fellow teacher, Annie doesn't have fancy things in her life, but she does have a nice car. Granted, it's 10 years old, and when you turn right, the stereo turns off. But it's a Lexus. One week, Annie decides she'll drive us to the food bank. In hindsight, that probably wasn't a good idea, because hungry families aren't supposed to be rolling up to the food bank in a Lexus. Standing next to me, loading food into her car, is a woman with somebody I assume is her sister. And she looks at me, looks at this luxury car, and looks back at me. And she starts yelling, "Hey, you!" She yells, "You'd better save the food for the families who need it." Well, I'm defeated and I freeze. But not Annie. Instinctively, she spins around to protect us. She steps up to that woman and she's ready to fight. And she gets in her face and she says, well, I can't repeat what she said. It wasn't nice. And it ended with, you better get back in your car or I'm gonna beat your ass and your sisters too. Well, that angry woman made the best decision of her life. She got back in her car and she squealed her tires right out of the parking lot. I couldn't believe it. My friend stood up for us. She was ready to fight for us. I couldn't believe that somebody actually thought that we were worth fighting for. And that's the moment that I began to believe that maybe I had a fighter inside of me. I could fight too. And I did. I quit my teaching job. I don't want to spend my days taking care of other people's children while my own family goes hungry. I started a new career in technology. I started at the bottom, and I fought to build a better life for my family. I wish I could say that I'm not afraid, that after that experience, I know I can make it through anything. But that's not true. I know what it's like to lose everything, and I never want to feel that way again. So I'm more careful. I take care of my responsibilities. Maybe I don't shine quite as bright, but I am not the guy in the food bank anymore. And you remember my friend who stood up for us? We've been married for 16 years. We've raised 5 amazing children, and together, through good times and bad, we have never stopped fighting for our family. Thank you.